the nine-banded armadillo, from Quadrupeds, or Outlines of a Popular History of the Class Mammalia, by the Religious Tract Society of London, 1840. This is recorded to celebrate the 9th anniversary of LibriVox. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. America produces another singular genus of the Edentata, namely that of the armadillos, Dasypus lineus. These animals are remarkable for the armor of horny plates and belts in which their bodies are enveloped, the hips and shoulders being covered by large broad buckles, while intermediately the back is shielded with transverse bands overlapping each other, as we see in ancient coats of mail, so as to give greater liberty and some degree of lateral motion. The tail is enveloped in a series of rings, and the limbs in an indurated, tuberculous sort of skin. The legs are very short, thick, and powerful, and the toes are furnished with strong nails for burrowing, a process which, in the light of sandy soil frequented by them, they accomplish with surprising rapidity. The eyes are very small, the ears large, the tongue long and slender, being capable of great extension and lubricated with a viscid saliva, by means of which it is enabled to pick up with readiness ants and similar insects, of which the diet of the armadillo chiefly consists. Its mode of taking these is by touching them with its tongue and drawing it back into the mouth. In addition to insects, however, it devours fruits, eggs, snakes, lizards, and especially the carcasses of animals, so that in Paraguay those who are interred at a distance from the usual places of sepulture are obliged to be protected by a lining of strong boards as a preventive against its depredations. In searching after food, the armadillos appear to be principally directed by the sense of smell. Their habits are more or less nocturnal. Their retreats are deep winding burrows of their own excavation. Their pace, though pretty quick, is a sort of waddling run, which in captivity is often persevered in incessantly by the hour together, without any apparent motive, and which, though amusing enough at first from its oddity, becomes tiresome from its sameness. One of the species with which we are best acquainted is that commonly termed nine-banded, Dasypus novincinctus lineus. See engraving number 37. Not that the number of bands is a just criterion, as they vary in youth and age, but that as such is the usual number in the adult, it became adopted by Linnaeus as a specific appellation. Individuals of this species have been exhibited in the gardens of the Zoological Society. They were fed on bread and vegetable diet. During the summer months they were allowed the liberty of a little paddock, where by the singularity of their actions they attracted a crowd of spectators. In the spring of 1831 the female produced 2 young ones, but both died, apparently in consequence of a bite on the head inflicted by one of the parents. Subsequently others have been produced and reared to their full growth, but died from accidental causes. In South America the armadillo is reckoned delicious food, and therefore eagerly hunted. The only refuge of these animals when pursued is their burrow, to which they immediately hasten, but on an emergency endeavor to dig a temporary retreat as expeditiously as possible. If interrupted, as a last resource, they roll themselves up like a hedgehog, and withdrawing their limbs beneath their bucklers and bending in their head, they submissively wait the event. However, it is said that should a precipice be near, trusting to their armor, they will throw themselves over it, and thus often effect an escape. Sometimes they are surprised when in the act of making their burrow, the hunter seizing them by the tail. In this case he is obliged to tickle the creature thus secured with a stick to make it let go its hold upon the sides of the excavation, for so great is its strength, and so resolutely does it struggle, that its tail has been often known to break off short in the hands of its assailant. Mr. Waterton informs us that the armadillo burrows in the sand hills like a rabbit, and that if, on introducing a stick into the hole, a number of mosquitoes come out, the Indians know to a certainty that the animal is there. They then probe its windings with a long pliant rod, dig down, probe again, and so repeat the work till they reach their booty. End of the Nine-Banded Armadillo, from Quadrupeds, or Outlines of a Popular History of the Class Mammalia, by the Religious Tract Society of London, 1840. Read by Sue Anderson.